Hello everyone, Dr. Maiden here with a video outlining the 3 parts of an academic paper. Okay, so the 3 parts to an academic paper. I have touched on this before in other videos. I'm going to link down below to one of the videos in particular where I talked about this. But the 3 parts to an academic paper, very straightforward. You're probably thinking what I'm about to say is intro, body, conclusion. And that is sort of right, okay? I'm sure you've studied this in your high school English classes, maybe even here at college you've taken an intro writing class and they've talked about intro, body, conclusion. I'm tweaking that a little bit here. When we're talking about academic papers, it's not so much intro, body, conclusion. It is tell them what you're going to tell them, tell them what you told them, okay? Let's break down each of these very quickly. Tell them what you're going to tell them. I've spoken in other videos about the idea that academic writing is not a mystery genre. If you're writing a paper and you feel like you're solving a mystery, you're doing it wrong. Because the structure of papers in political science is to start with, number 1, tell them what you're going to tell them. You should, in the introductory portion of a paper, describe your paper in full. You should be providing a very clear thesis statement that says exactly what you're arguing. In this paper, I will show ... You can use pronouns in political science to be that clear of what you're actually trying to do. You can say things like, look at any journal and you'll see that we're doing this left, right, and center. We're doing things like saying, this paper is divided into 3 parts. First, blah, blah, blah. Second, blah, blah, blah. Finally, blah, blah, blah. Okay, all of that comes in an intro. Depending on the length of your paper, it could be that we're really looking for that in one nice paragraph. Typically in journals, you might be getting 1 to 3 paragraphs that are a nice intro section that they're outlining, what am I talking about? I'll hook you first. What's the hook? Why should I be interested in this? What's my argument? What's my take on this? What data am I using? What analysis am I providing? How am I building out this theory? And then what's the flow of the paper? Organize the paper and tell me how you're going to present your data. That's tell them what you're going to tell them. So you can imagine even something like any courtroom drama that you've ever seen, right? How do they start that in the courtroom dramas? They'll say, through the evidence, we will show blah, 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 blah. He was there. It was Colonel Mustard with the knife in the conservatory, right? Lawyers do this. They have opening statements where they say, we are about to walk you through an entire process, an entire collection of evidence to show he did it, okay? We're doing the exact same thing in political science. No mystery whatsoever, okay? So tell them what you're going to tell them. Give me an intro, explain everything. Second part of the paper, the body of the paper, is tell them. So you tell me what you're going to tell me, and then you take the time to outline each of your points. The body is, now tell me. You told me what you were going to tell me, now tell me. Now you're filling out those details for me, okay? In a very concise way. You're going to have a nice, powerful sentence that sets up each of the paragraphs, that's building out your points, okay? Think about how you are constructing the argument so that the points kind of flow logically, one after another, okay? Tell them what you're going to, or tell them what you're going to tell them is shorter, 1 to 3 paragraphs. The tell them is the body of your paper. So that could be a couple pages. If you've got a 7-page thing, that's going to be 4 to 5 of your pages right there if you're double spacing. 5 pages of a body that is the tell them what your argument is. And then we end with a conclusion. And I know in writing classes, you're learning this. You're learning that there should be an intro, body, conclusion. In academic writing, the whole point of the conclusion is tell them, I'll do 3 fingers, tell them what you told them, okay? Tell them what you're going to tell them. Conclusion is tell them what you told them. You recap for us. Again, it's the same thing. Think of any courtroom drama that you see. See, didn't I tell you that I was going to prove X, Y, and Z, Y, and case of economic development in Botswana, right? I told you in the beginning I was going to argue this, and then I walked you through 3 or 4 really nice points about this, and now here we are in this conclusion, and I'm going to wrap it up and say, see, didn't I tell you that this was a clear argument, that this made sense? Now, sometimes when you get to the tell them what you told them section, another element that will come in is a sense of, did I miss anything? Could I have presented this differently? What challenges remain? Or to be answering the question, what wasn't I able to tell you, right? So I told you I'm going to tell you something, then I told it to you. Sometimes in a conclusion or conclusion discussion section, there is space to say, there are things I couldn't tell you. That's important too, because that is saying there are avenues for future research here, there are unanswered questions, there are different ways we could perhaps use data to answer the question. So that can be really nice too, to put into the tell them what you told them section, is also maybe there's something I didn't tell you, okay? So that's it. That's it in a nutshell. Academic writing, it's like, God, it's boring. It's boring because it's the same thing. So you just get your puzzle pieces, you put them in a row, and you know that you're doing a good paper because it's following exactly the guidelines, the methods that are used in political science of tell them what you're going to tell them, tell them what you told them, okay? If you have questions about this, you can comment down below. Students that are thinking about writing papers in one of my classes, you can email me, and definitely check out some of these other videos. I'll do the 7 mistakes student writers make. I'll link in some other things about research and reading journal articles in particular that might be able to help you out as you're working on this. Okay, again, if you have questions, let me know. Otherwise, have a great day.